Hi, first graders. Today I'm going to read you a story called Ralph Tells a Story. And this is a really great connection because we've started Writer's Workshop and it's all about writing and getting ideas for stories. It's written by Abby Hanlon. Ralph Tells a Story. My teacher always said, stories are everywhere. Put this up a little bit. And the kids in my class were always finding them. Yeah, stories, stories, says the teacher. This kid saying, then my mom ran so fast that she caught up with the ice cream truck. This kid says, the dentist forgot to give me a toothbrush. But every day at writing time, I thought really hard. I stared at my paper. I stared at the ceiling. I could not write a story. Thumbs up, first graders, if that has ever happened to you. Ah! I have no story! And Ralph has no story, but look at all these other kids writing away. I wonder how that must feel for Ralph. So, I looked for other things to do. I went to the water fountain. I roamed the hallways. I tried everything. Here Ralph is saying, can I go to the bathroom? And the teacher says, again? Can I go help the lunch ladies? What? Then one day, after getting sent back to my desk, I begged Daisy for help. I can't write a story because nothing happens to me. Are you kidding? She said. I've written a ton of stories about you. She began pulling her stories out of her desk. Look at this one, she said. Remember the time you let me brush your hair? And this one. Remember the time you knocked down all the crayons? Oh, and remember the time you painted your nails with a black marker? I thought, I'll never be a great writer like Daisy. Then Daisy stapled all her stories together. Click, click. Wow, she said. This book is already 13 pages. Click, click. Can I use the stapler? I asked. I was really good at stapling. But you have nothing to staple, said Daisy. You have to find a story first. And here Daisy is saying, just look around. So I looked for stories out the window, in the aquarium, in my desk. Why do you have socks in your desk? And when my teacher wasn't looking, I looked for stories on the floor. But still no stories. And here's the teacher with the other kids coming up with all ideas, and the teacher's saying, wow, look at all of these kids writing, and Ralph's like, I got nothing. Lying under my desk reminded me of lying in the grass at the park. I closed my eyes and imagined I was at the park. Just like that time, a little inchworm crawled on my knee. The sun was shining right into my eyes. Squinting, I picked up the wiggly inchworm and looked at it close up. And that's when my teacher found me. What's your story about? She asked. I opened my eyes. I saw an inchworm. Wonderful, she said. I can't wait to read what you wrote. But there was no inchworm story. I sat down and tried to write about the inchworm, but right away I got stuck. Do you know any inchworm stories? I asked Daisy. She just rolled her eyes and kept on writing. And then my teacher said, writers, come to the rug, time to share. And there's Daisy running, right? So excited, smile on her face. And Ralph, not feeling very excited. Still no stories. Ralph, why don't you go first? Said the teacher. I pretended that I had lost my paper. All the other kids were saying, "Oh, pick me, please." It didn't work. Daisy says, or this kid says, "He's sitting on it." I walked to the front of the rug. It took a long time. I held my paper against my chest so no one could see it. "I was at a park," I said. "An inchworm crawled on my knee." It was quiet. My heart went thump, 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 thump. That's when I looked at Daisy. "Wow, really? Did it feel really squishy, Ralphie? Did you take it home?" And then everybody started asking me questions. "Did your mom let you keep it? Did you touch it? Was it a baby? Was it a girl? Did it tickle? Did you name it?" Wait a minute, I thought. Something did happen with that inchworm. Well, I picked up the inchworm and decided to name him Nick. I built Nick a house, but he just inched away. So I followed him. This is why I didn't notice that someone was following me. And then all of a sudden, this wobbly, crazy baby grabbed Nick and put him in his... First graders, can you guess? Where do you think the baby put the inchworm? Diaper! I tried to be calm. "Come on, baby," I said really nicely. "Give Ralphie the inchworm." It didn't work. Was this the end of Nick? Remember, Nick is the inchworm. But then I noticed Nick was escaping. Do you see the little inchworm poking out of the diaper? He crawled right up the baby's stomach. Quickly, I rescued Nick and ran, and we spent the rest of the afternoon doing nothing together. The end. Everybody clapped and cheered. "Show the picture, Ralph," someone said. "Wonderful, hooray, yeah, Ralph." I wasn't embarrassed anymore, so I did. That was last year. This year, I write stories all the time. I keep finding stories everywhere. This book might be too thick to staple, Ralphie's thinking. So first graders, here are some writing tips from Ralph. Number 1, get comfortable. Number 2, it's okay to ask for help. Number 3, you could always write about what you had for breakfast. And look at Ralph is saying pizza in the morning by Ralph. Thumbs up if you've ever had pizza for breakfast. Number 4, eat lots of chocolate. And that's the end. And these are all books by Ralph. I'll read you some of the titles. When I Ate Too Much Spaghetti, The Marker That Never Ran Out, When My Mom Bought Me the Wrong Size Underwear, The Case of the Missing Ice Cubes, When My Baby Brother Ate Hot Sauce, My Bathroom Emergency, The Principal Tripped, When Milk Came Out of My Nose, When the Librarian Yelled Really Loud at Me, The Smelly Band-Aid. And that is the end of Ralph Tells a Story. So first graders, what stories can you write about?